All right, guys. Well, we're ready to bring on our next set, an awesome Christian rapper. And I'm going to have my brother Jake here give a little shout out to him.
You guys still doing all right out there? Appreciate you guys being out here more than you can know. This next dude coming up right here is a brother of ours in more ways than one. He's a brother in Christ. He's a brother in our men's ministry, Band of Brothers, and he's a brother for friend walking through this thing with us. I can't give enough praise to him. It was one phone call, and he said, yeah, I'm in. Let's do this. So I want you guys to give a big round of applause for Frank Thompson.
All right, mic check. All right, how we doing tonight?
Yeah!
Come on, we can do better than that. Make some noise! Well, my name is Frank Thompson, man, and if you guys would just scoot in here a little bit. I don't have a band. Obviously, they all quit on me. So I just want to say something real quick, man, before we get started on this thing. You're good, man. You're good. So like my brother said, man, I'm a part of Band of Brothers, which I see a lot of my brothers here. And so some of them know my story. And I think in order to truly understand the music that I give, you need to understand the story just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So which is wild that we're here in Catoosa, because I went to school here, right? Like 5th grade on to my sophomore year, I spent here. And I think maybe just 5th grade, I was sober. So I spent a lot of my time as a teenager running around and doing everything this town has to offer, you know. I knew the people, you know. I had the money. And when you know the people and you have the money, they don't really care about how old you are as long as they can get some too. And so those are the types of people that I stuck myself around. And I did that for almost the rest of my life. And I started writing this. I started really writing poetry when I was 16, 17. And then it just kind of, you start in poetry, it eventually gets to rap. And so I did the rapper thing, right? Then I tried to live the rapper life, and then I tried to do all this other stuff. But under the drugs and the alcohol, everything just kind of fell apart. But what I didn't know at the time was God has given me a gift, right? He was just kind of giving me a testimony as well. And I didn't really understand what that meant until about 6 years ago. 6 years ago was the last time I would be incarcerated. And I was broken, I was tired. And I just had this real moment with myself. I'm a part of a program where they say that the first thing you have to do is admit you're powerless. And what that meant for me was to admit that I didn't have any control of my life. It wasn't hard for me to look around and see that the best thing that Frank can offer Frank is a life of misery. And somewhere along the way, which is crazy, Abby's here. Along the way, I had people in my life tell me about Jesus, right? But when you come from a reservation where that's not really what everybody does, it's easy to look and say, you know what, you can take your Jesus, you can get on down the street. I've heard this story. I know how it ends. It's the same way that it ends for everybody. You tell me Jesus died for me, and you do all this, and then you go away, and nobody ever says another word to me, and I never get the help I need. And so I hated all of y'all. But it was because I didn't have an understanding of who God was, right? And so I found myself broken. I found myself in a place where I realized the best that I could offer for me, like I said, was misery. And it's great. There's a chapter, Pastor, there's a verse in Psalms, and I only can find it in the New King James Version, where he says, Psalms 91, I made darkness my secret place. Well, then it begs to the question, where is his secret place, right? Oh, I'm sorry, he said, those who abide in my secret place, or something like that. And then it's like, where's his secret place? You go to Psalm 18 or Psalm 11. I'm not a Bible rememberer, great guy, all right? But he said, I made darkness my secret place. And in darkness, I think we're closer to God than we ever really know. Because I had nothing to turn to. And so I was like, you know what? Try Jesus. And the more I read about this guy, the more I realized that we're alike. The first thing I read about Jesus was that he was from a town called Nazareth. And everybody says nothing good comes from Nazareth. I'm from Tulsa. I'm from a reservation. They say nothing comes good where I'm from either. So there was an identification for me right there. And so then I just started focusing on who God was and really what this man Jesus did. And the more that I read, the more that I understood that I just had a misrepresentation of who he was because I only seen you guys through my pain. And when I'm looking through my pain, that's gonna distort everything. So as I've made this walk with God, and I've had a lot of bumps along the way, I found my relief in writing these songs. And at the time, I wasn't writing them to be in a church. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So this isn't Christian music rap like you think Christian rap, right? But I believe that there's only two types of music anyways. There's music that glorifies God, or there's music that glorifies me. So the power of my testimony and what God has done for me, that's where these songs come from. And I'm gonna start this off. It's gonna get a little crazy, so buckle up if you're not into rap. Too bad, I guess. I love my life with this rhyming and now I'm riding down pine. I pray the vinyl, let the swine behind. Light on my late night, I'm title fighting my rivals. Go on, cause honestly, why you wanna come bother me? No apologies, follow my presence, bringing debauchery. Suffering constantly, put it in with the mockery. And often I surpass the reputations that follow me. Being abrasive and telling people, listening to gospel music, still yelling strange. Silently broken, but holding on through the pain. Coping with the mechanism, praising the name of it. Torn up and twisted, ignored important decisions like courses, scores, intuitions, aborted fortunes, the slip in the porches towards the admission. The court reports in his vision is not distorted images, so go report your next victim. Went from locked up in the state for serving fiends up with that weight to hit the gates to work with greats and now placed off in the space that makes me take a look at my mistakes. Separate myself from views they'd only brew to sell the hate. Taking out the friend in me, enemy. I don't tend to be, but bending me in. He will send me off in the remedies where I'm reaching for semis instead of breaching the mini. Kicking back on the Remy, so wait, homie, don't tempt me. Smash for the past and the laughters had that last outcast for the passion of fast. Crash to the rap and the match by craft out last to the back to the past me last. Attack to the back to the smack you back, react to the crack to the dap my path. You brag on the track and I let my slap. Everybody telling me I need to relax. I level in a minute all the beams like bending when I'm standing on the rubber with the ruckus that is being. Don't suffer when I suffer that they bother in the kitchen. So beat the bread and watch. I'm a sucker for the chicken bread and butter from the gutter. Homie never gonna run but you better go and muster anybody that'll cover. Bitch like the bugs from the three, I'm making another now. Speaking like my brother wants smoke, got a cover.
I get abandoned, these people thinking I'm finished.
The minute that they get seen and it's only the beginning. The father with discipline of my son. You get the
Business, keep the distance for the boy.
get the twitching, get the twitching. I'm a
spaz on him.
I'm a spaz on him. I'm a spaz on him. I'm a spaz on him. Blinded by my deeds, they still encage me. Try to break free, to succeed, to escape me. Thoughts of a candle, this damsel plagues me. Breaking with vandals to ramble. Understand this walk that I make, it ain't for you to bark at the hate. Stay in your lane, don't park in my space. I'm not what you claim, don't beg me. Let them get a little bit of salty when I'm mommy sloppy. Happy friend of one is what I got it that they got me. All they gotta take off all the labels that they call me and they brought me to the bottom, but I promise they can stop me. You should see me now, I know he wouldn't doubt her. It's taking me to towns I've been around, just seen the ocean. Lost but now I'm found, I know I shouldn't act this reckless. Though you talk that stuff, I grab your throat and go. But the Lord knows that I'm dead wrong. Trying to figure out why everything I love is just faded and gone.
Don't waste your tears up on my
Headstone, while I'm swerving in out this traffic, I'm just trying to keep my eyes on the road. Now when I'm cold and dead, I try to change my ways while I'm laying in a puddle of mud. Now you can wash my hands clean of these sins, but my soul's still covered in mud. Yeah, it's covered in blood. Spare me the air, I don't dare to compare deeds. Taking it there, it'll only inflare me. Passing the stare, I can't bear when they dare me. Breaking these chairs and you swear that you hate me. Bullseye, did I miss it? I'm kicking my bad decisions, but fixing all of the tension between you and me. It's different. It's love you, hate you, trust, betray you. Must I take to rush and sick? Crutch you on my warning, that's enough. But the Lord knows that I'm dead wrong. Trying to figure out why everything I love is just faded and gone. Don't waste your tears up on my headstone. While I'm swerving in out this traffic, I'm just trying to keep my eyes on the road. Now when I'm cold and dead, I try to change my ways while I'm laying in a puddle of mud. Now you can wash my hands clean of these sins, but my soul's still covered in blood. Yeah, it's covered in blood, covered in blood. You can try to wipe away the pain, but it's covered in blood. Changed my ways, but it wasn't enough. You can't wash away the stains when you're covered in blood. You know, the one part about having a really good, nice, long set is I usually get a break in between, because that's a lot. That's a lot. I just went on 2 tours last year, and I went across the country with some really dope artists, guys that I've listened to my whole life. And they gave me 20 minutes, and they're like, here you go. And then now you get 30 seconds, Ben. You know what I'm talking about. You get 30 seconds to catch your breath. So they gave me like 40 minutes. We're not going to use all of it, but I got enough to catch my breath. Can I have a chair? I'm a big fan of not moving a lot. As you can tell that, with the way that I do these songs, man, and trying to jump up and down here, and I've been eating McDonald's with, there's 3 kids, there's one of them, with these boys that I met up in Miami. You like McDonald's? It's so bad for you when you get to be 30. Well, I just wanted to take a second, man, and try to and talk to my guys here, right? How many teenagers we got in here? How many under 20 and under? Where's that at? Hey, you know what, man? What I want to tell you guys specifically is you guys are growing up in a weird time. A very weird time, right? It's so easy to be a part of self in this generation, right? With these phones and the taking the pictures, and I got to show everybody, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't count if it's not posted. That's not good for you, right? I know, because I went through it too. Like, I remember when I first started making music, like, I got to show everybody, and 3 people like it, and then 4 people like it, and it's like, man, I guess I'm just not good. But that's not the case, man. People just don't care, right? That's just the truth of it. Nobody cares. And, you know, I communicate this. I try to the younger ones, right? And they probably listen about as well as my children listen to me. But I'm still going to tell you, right? Real life isn't on the phone, right? And you hear all the parents in here. Everybody gets it. Real life isn't on the phone. But the decisions you make on those phones, they will affect your real life. You know what I'm saying? It's so much easier to go to places that was a lot harder when we were kids, right? It's so much easier to find yourself in situations that when you turn around, you realize you're so far away from where you're supposed to be, but you're so engulfed in, we'll just call it sin, because that's what it is, right? I was just talking to my boy back there. The root of every sin is self. Or at least mine, every sinful decision that I made came out of either self-preservation, self-glorification, right? I want to feel good all the time, and I have to do everything, and it doesn't matter if that's at the expense of you and your feelings, right? I did all of that growing up really kind of without social media. I can't imagine what it's like now, right? I'm going to tell you guys a story before we get going to this, because this next song, it's called This Hell Ain't No Home. I had a friend. He gave me this necklace. I was going to the boys' home, the Tulsa boys' home, and I started working up there. Or not working, but I was volunteering up there, and I was going up there. I went with my band of brothers, and I met this one kid. His name was Kai, and Kai was sitting at a table by himself, and I went to Kai, and I said, hey, Kai, how are you? What are you doing? Started having the whole chit-chat, and I was like, man, I said, you know, it's crazy. I don't know how this works. I just assume everybody's here from court. I said, so why are you here? And his first thing, he says, I'm a drug addict. And I looked at Kai, and I'm a drug addict, and I know this isn't a drug addict. But I'm not going to tell him that. You know what I said? I said, what was your drug of choice? And he kind of fumbled for an answer, so I threw one at him. I said, heroin. And he said, yes, heroin. This boy ain't never seen a bag of heroin in his life, right? But what I seen in that moment was here was a kid who had to pretend to feel like he had to fit in the environment he was placed in. Now, what's more dangerous? Doing heroin or telling people you're a heroin addict because that's what they want you to think about them? But we know what it's like to try to pretend our way in a situation with the friends and with the things. And I tried working with Kai, man. I spent about a year with him. His birthday's February 22nd. Mine's the 24th. So I spent my birthday with him, and we had a Lilo and Stitch birthday party. And, you know, we're getting nacho bars, and we're hanging out with Kai, and we're doing all this stuff with Kai. And I'm working with them. And Kai went through some things in his life that he couldn't get away from. And he couldn't get out of himself, and he just felt like he was so alone, even though he was around all kinds of people. And that's what the enemy will do. He will get you over here in the corner. Don't worry, they'll never understand you, right? Nobody's gonna understand you. You're unique in this sense that nobody's gonna get it, so you might as well just leave them alone. You don't need them, right? And Kai was in that place. Kai took his life late last year. And to tell you where this kid was and how vicious the enemy is, the enemy said, hey, there's an officer over there with a gun. Why don't you go and take it off his wrist and do it right here in this gym full of people? And Kai did that. And I got a phone call, and my heart broke. And I wrote this song thinking about Kai. This was before he passed away. And it's just emotion to show that, you know what, it doesn't matter how real the enemy is, there's a God who's so much better. You know what I'm saying? God is so powerful. He took this guy, right? He took this guy. He took the enemy and he casted him out of his presence. If God can do that with him, he can do him like that in your life. I'm getting off track. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down, and if you guys wouldn't mind, this isn't going to be one of those jumping around songs, all right? We're just going to do this. Feeling off, trying not to say every single thought, living day to day, trying to justify my sins. Somehow I want to push away people closest to me, let the rain begin. It's got me overthinking things I'm meant to be. I'm lost off in these thoughts of muck and misery. They're saying that this life is what you make and dream, but they don't play no part, no, they just come to see. Witness tried to tell me, sister wanna fail me, label me as guilty. God forbid they kill me, Holy Spirit fill me, so I see that this hell ain't no home. My right's been so wrong. Even though I may sin, I still cast it first stone. So lead me up, I do bet on my own. I've traveled the only road I've ever known, and this hell ain't no home. Time to turn the page, or justify the rage. Forgiveness for the pain, or find myself a cage. Sick of taking blame, got me to the point I feel estranged. Sick of feeling like the sorrows got me stuck between a rock and a hard place. Never took a second just to sit and see that silver spoon mentality ain't meant for me. I'd rather find my worth, this diamond in the dirt. They try to keep me down. Imprisoned by the past, this house is made of madness. Whatever, grab the matches, light the sheets and mattress. Devil, he can have it, I'm moving on. Cause this hell ain't no home. My right's been so wrong. Even though I may sin, I still still cast that first stone. So leave me up, I do bad on my own. I've traveled the only road I've ever known, and this hell ain't no home. You know, the thing about, though, when you find yourself in that hell is there's always a way out. God makes a way out, you know. Sometimes we miss the exit, it goes right there. But then he gives you another one. But sometimes you miss that one. But then he gives you another one. Do you see the repetition in this? I'm talking to you. I finally found a way. This is why I was tripping on this being hooked to Bluetooth. Everybody, it is 4 o'clock. That's fire. And decay, yeah. Ashes I'm focused, 'cause I finally found a way. Hey, you can try to lock me out of this so-called home. So sit back, grab a seat, enjoy this one-man show. Try to get me to go, 'cause I finally found a way. I used to be into the rocket scene. Admittedly, I was bad company. But the change is here for all to see. So miss me with the history. They're taking the past and throwing in my face. I'm the go-to the escape, I still catch the blame. Shade throwing, what a shame. Yet still all these years they say my name. I try to be different, they treat me no different. Her mission to take my name out of position and fill it in with this juiciest. Belittling me right in front of my children, telling no teller that make me the villain. Try to reply, you playing the victim. Done how I've come up from under everyone's thoughts, ideas of who I am. This junkie bum, a lesser man, taking the grab back is now I can stand. You're feeling you got me pressed under your hand. Well, I hope it was nice, 'cause I've broken the vice and no, I finally found a way. A way to finally find closure through the flames and decay, yeah. Through the ashes I'm focused, 'cause I finally found a way. And you can try to lock me out of this so-called home. So sit back, grab a seat, enjoy this one-man show. You pay hell, try to get me to go, 'cause I finally found a way. I forgot that line. You guys make some noise in here, come on. Yeah, from the start when I started things, but now they talking they can market me. You wanna come take part and charge the dream, but homie, you're missing the hardest scene. Regardless the parts of you playing the hardest, it's starting to leak out all over the carpet. You're bleeding or your ego's bleeding, you're damaged. I promise you, bro, you won't handle the. Gone out my way, I'm on a new track as I break away. Strong is the mental state I choose to find myself today. Grown, I can't play these games, that pettiness get out my face. You wrong, you thought I'd stick around. Leaving them all behind, picking them off with time, deny your kind. That negative set of mind defines the lines you find yourself inside. Tickets have been declined, no mind, just move yourself about the line. You missed the show, but I'll let you know I finally found a way. A way to finally find closure through the flames and decay, yeah. Through the ashes I'm focused, 'cause I finally found a way. And you can try to lock me out of this so-called home. So sit back, grab a seat, enjoy this one-man show. Try to get me to go, 'cause I finally found a way. Thank you guys for, I felt like that one kind of fell apart. As long as you liked it, my man. All right, man, I only got a couple more, and I'm going to get out of here. I don't know where Jake's at, but, oh, there you are. You could probably start getting the other guys rounded up, because I'm not going to take the whole 40 minutes you gave me, man. So, but I just want to talk, you know, look, I've said a whole lot since I've been up here, man, but one thing I can tell you, and one thing, if you don't remember anything else other than the fact that this guy can rap really fast and mess up while he goes and does it, it's impressive that he can mess up as many times. Just remember this, man, you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? Especially not just to the kids, all the adults. Everybody in the back, everybody who's like, you know what, I'm here because the kids are here, I'm here for one reason or another, hey, this guy keeps rapping, that's not my thing, whatever. What I can tell you is that if you look to your right and your left, you see a whole lot of people wearing that shirt that man's wearing right there, all the way in the back. All these bands of brothers out here. It doesn't matter who you are. You pull up on one of these guys. You see the shirt, you're going through something, pull up on one of them. I have a shirt right here that says prayer works. Why? Because I want to pray for you. Because nothing I can say or do in this world will help you more than God can. And the only way that I can do that is by putting hands on you and telling you that he loves you and praying for you and asking him to move in your life. Because at the end of every move that God's ever made in my life, I've only been able to do one thing, and that's turn around and praise. Because in this world, I mean nothing. I'm doing this study from Saul to Paul, right? Saul being Saul, becoming Paul, small, which means small. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. You know, and you got to think when Paul converted, right, or however you want to, whatever word you want to put on that, whenever God said, hey, you're now on my team, and he goes into the places where he sees all the religious leaders, the people he used to run with, how many of them do you think they're like, yo, Saul, you remember that one time when we did that one thing together? What are you doing, man? You know, hey, you remember that one time we went over there, we went over here and did this thing? Why are you over there? What are you doing, man? Why don't you come over here? Those people don't know what they're talking about. We've been saying that, right? What I know is that when you give your life to God, those people still exist. And it's not necessarily because they're from the devil. They just don't understand the grace of God yet. They will one day. One day, everybody will stand before him, you know. I want to know who he is before I get there. The only thing I want to know left about Jesus when I get to heaven is what he looks like. Because I done took all my time down here getting to know who he was. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes that means you got to walk away from some of your people. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk away from those ones who are like, yo, why don't you come and smoke this blunt? You know, why don't you come and hit this thing, you know? And it's lonely. It gets lonely, man, whenever you have to walk away from your whole friend group that you've been with doing whatever for however long. But I'll tell you, on the other side of every bad decision I made, there was a friend who was encouraging me to go, or there was a girl that I was trying to chase. And every time I went that way, at the end of it, like the prodigal, when I was alone in a pen by myself, my friends ain't nowhere to be found. Ain't nobody giving me money. And so when I decided I was going to change my life, right? Or I shouldn't say I decided. Whenever God stepped in for the last time and I decided I'm just going to make the right next decision, it was letting some of those people go. Yeah. I'm sick of hearing how your day was. Why? So you can ask me. He ain't never really said what's up. You ain't really day one. We pretend to be cool till this relationship don't benefit you. In my book, that's fake love. Say you lend me a hand, you turn around and interact with my enemies. Dang, it's like rather not talk cause it gets in my head. So I'm wishing you the best, homie. Stay up, getting in the mood. I just feel used. Try to throw blame, but this one's on you. And I'm sick of hanging out with another one who's saying he's got nothing going on but a bunch of stuff to prove. Swallow your pride, chase that with truth. You paid them hoes, I paid my dues. I found my peace, and it ain't with you, and it ain't with you.
Please don't ask me how I've been.
I'm better off left alone in my mind with the time I spend. Please don't ask me how I've been. You never really took the time to ask why, and you didn't care then. My friend, please don't ask me how I've been. How you been, how you doing, I've been doing me. No need to waste your time or be losing sleep. How you been, how you doing, I've been doing me. No need to waste your time. Sound of the church bells pounding, my own hell. Round after round fell down, but I won't tell. Drowned by my old tales, bound to my soul. But I know if I fall, I will roll the devil's coattail. Find it in myself to start hitting decline. I've been living with this vision where the world could be mine. I take off in a minute when they hit my line. I got songs hid away that I gotta go find. I embarked in this race even though I'm behind, but I've never really been the one to sit and recline while they talking what they talking. I'm gonna fight to get mine. I'm a dog off the leash. You don't see what you often the case, but they costed me cake when they say they relate, but don't bear any traits. Wanna stare and replay and just parrot the fake, embarrassing me.
Don't ask me how I've been.
I'm better off left alone in my mind with the time I spend. Please don't ask me how I've been. You never really took the time to ask why, and you didn't care then. My friend, please don't ask me how I've been. How you been? How you doing? I've been doing me. No need to waste your time or be losing sleep. How you been? How you doing? I've been doing me. No need to waste your time or be losing sleep. All right. Yeah, this will be the last one that I do. I had more set up, but I'm gonna end up messing them up. But I did this song with a friend of mine, and it was kind of about just where I'm from. It's what I'd say when I'm on the road, but the fact that I'm from here, I'll just tell you guys, this is about rolling hills. This is about that trailer park down the way. Taking some parts of me, letting it go from the drama. I found myself down in a hole like I'm chained. Call me Alice, no wonderland, though. Just the hood that I come from that's flooded with dope. Ain't no joke, man, I've been on both sides of the road. Like I'm talking for war when I'm bored and I'm broke. Asking the Lord, please restore me to hope. And he showed me a path, but I veered off the road like, whoa, there I go. So, make way when I'm on my low, though. Stay way over in your zone, cause you're never gonna see it the way I do anyways. When I'm trying to make a dollar but throwing my change away, feeling like the blue collar is harder to dream away. Will I always be the man that I see? Gotta stretch another paycheck, make it through the week, cause I'm off in thoughts and I think I may have forgot the cause of what it takes to play. Lost it all, I felt the fade away, but now I'm here to contend, don't get in my way. I'll make amends with a friend just to mend mistakes, but I won't bend or pretend just to fix a plate. Save some face, I'd rather eat the hate than Houdini at this place with the great escape. So I vanish, watch how I manage to roll down the road on my own, no tandem. Minutes like phantom when you're trying to take advantage of my state and don't realize a war from the start I will handle. Yeah, I said a war from the start I will handle. Watching the reaction they left, and I'm getting colder, but the directions that they lacking will left when I'm taking over. Now I go. Save your tears for somebody else. Mama, don't cry, yeah. Cause I know I put you through hell. The devil gon' say he's gon' try to take my soul, but it won't be today, yeah. Please forgive me for the days I'm old, cause the good Lord knows. My name's Frank Thompson, you guys. That'll be the rest of my time.